Now it's time for the Sport Report. We cover all of the news and the results from the night before in the sports world. Become an expert on sports in under 15 minutes. Today, Chandler with Sports covers the MLB games in addition to tennis from yesterday.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler. Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Welcome to a special edition of this all-crazy sports newscast.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports and this is the Sport Report.
Chandler with Sports is how he wants to go. With is his middle name, Sports his last name.
I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports. With that in mind, here we go. Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Thursday, September 5th, 2019. Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports and this is the Sport Report. Before we jump into the results from yesterday, let's catch up on the top story of the night. This is top of the order.
Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl.
I don't believe what I just saw.
This is top of the order.
Our top story comes from Cincinnati, where the Cincinnati Reds defeat the Philadelphia Phillies 8-5. That's not the main story here. The main story is Michael Lorenzen of the Cincinnati Reds. He becomes the first player since Babe Ruth in 1921 to get a victory in a game, hit a home run, and play in the field in the same game. Yeah, it took 98 years, but it happened again. Lorenzen improves to 1-4 on the season for the Reds. Raisel Iglesias gets his 29th save of the season for Cincinnati. Before we dive into the rest of the Major League Baseball slate, we want to deliver a couple other news and notes. We said 2 nights ago that Ezekiel Elliott was in the process of signing a new contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys. Well, he did just that at dark 30. The news was delivered around 6:15 local time. 6 years, $90 million on the contract extension, tying him down for the next 8 years. It looks as if he'll play on Sunday afternoon against the New York Football Giants. Tomorrow also opens the 100th NFL season, the opening game of the season between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears at historic Soldier Field. Kickoff of the game is scheduled for 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Before we head to Major League Baseball, we've got a report from one of our Sport Report correspondents. Man, it's been a long time since we've said that. We're going to try and work in more correspondent segments as football season begins and baseball season winds down. Without further ado, let's send it out to Sport Report correspondent Ben Findlow for an update on the U.S. Open from Flushing Meadows, New York.
Thanks, Chandler. It's been 10 days since the U.S. Open began, and now you're throwing it out at me? Well, you missed a lot. Naomi Osaka destroyed 15-year-old sensation Coco Gauff, then proceeded to fall to Bencic in the next round. Federer hasn't been the same since Wimbledon and has showed. He went down in 5 sets to Grigor Dimitrov in the quarters. The women's semifinal will begin today, and it consists of 2 intriguing matchups. The first matchup is Belinda Bencic versus Bianca Andreescu. The second semifinal will be between Alina Svitolina and Serena Williams. On to the men's singles semifinals. The first will be Daniil Medvedev against Grigor Dimitrov. The second semifinal will be Matteo Berrettini versus Rafael Nadal. I'll be back on Monday with the recap of the women's and men's finals. Back to with Shorts in the studio.
Thanks for that U.S. Open update, Ben. We look forward to hearing from you later in the tournament. Now to Major League Baseball.
With one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Ortiz in the deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Now from Major League Baseball.
The MLB lineup from yesterday includes 11 games.
To continue our Major League Baseball coverage, we'll pick up at Nationals Park, where the New York Mets defeat the Washington Nationals 8-4. Zach Wheeler improves to 10-7 on the season for the Mets, and Anibal Sanchez falls to 8-7 for the Nationals. At Yankee Stadium, New York Yankees 4, Texas Rangers 1. Luis Cessa improves to 2-1 on the season for the Yankees. Lance Lynn falls to 14-10 for the Rangers. As we mentioned in top of the order, Cincinnati Reds 8, Philadelphia Phillies 5. Pittsburgh Pirates 6, Miami Marlins 5. Jose Urena falls to 4-8 on the season for the Marlins, as the Pirates scored 3 in the bottom half of the 9th inning to come back from a 2-run deficit to win by 1. Brian Reynolds singles in Eric Gonzalez in the bottom half of the 9th to win the game for Pittsburgh. Cleveland Indians 8, Chicago White Sox 6. Shane Bieber, no relation to Justin Bieber, we're pretty darn certain of that. He's now 13-7 on the season for the Cleveland Indians. Ivan Nova falls to 9-12 for the White Sox. The White Sox had the bases loaded with 1 out, and then Eloy Jimenez hit a shot to center field, but it was one-handed behind the back caught by Oscar Mercado, and the rally was stopped in its tracks. Cleveland is now tied for the second wild card with the Oakland Athletics in the American League. Speaking of the A's, they defeat the LA Angels 4-0. Tanner Roark improves to 9-8 on the season for the A's. San Francisco Giants 9, St. Louis Cardinals 8. Will Smith gets his 31st save of the season for the Giants in a game that was back and forth and back and forth. But in the end, it was Kevin Pillar who had a 440-foot 2-run home run to give the Giants the lead in the top half of the 8th. That would help them win by a single run. Kansas City Royals 5, Detroit Tigers 4. Jake Junis improves to 9-12 on the season for the Royals. Edwin Jackson falls to 3-9 for the Tigers. Jorge Soler hit his 40th homer of the season for the Royals. LA Dodgers 7, Colorado Rockies 3. Antonio Sensatella falls to 8-10 on the season as the Dodgers hit their 250th home run, breaking a National League record for a single season for most homers in a single season. Jock Peterson had 2 homers in this game. In his last 8 at-bats, he's had 7 hits, 6 homers, and a double. Not bad for the right fielder for the Dodgers. Boston Red Sox 6, Minnesota Twins 2. Eduardo Rodriguez improves to 17-5 with a 3.81 ERA for the Red Sox. Jose Berrios falls to 11-8 with a 3.78 ERA for the Twins. Brendan Workman gets his 11th save of the season for the Red Sox. The Red Sox are 7-0 in Eduardo Rodriguez's last 7 starts. And in the final game of the night, Arizona Diamondbacks 4, San Diego Padres 1. Zach Gallen had a no-hitter through 6 1/3 before Manny Machado broke that up. He improves to 3-4 with a 2.5 ERA for the Diamondbacks. Craig Stammen falls to 7-7 for the Padres. Archie Bradley gets his 12th save of the season for Arizona, who have now won 6 of their last 7 and are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Keep an eye out for the Diamondbacks. They may have traded away their ace, but now they're 3 games back of that second wild card position. This could get very interesting over the next 3.5 weeks. That's the Sport Report for Thursday, September 5th, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. In the words of Joe Buck, who is a commentator for Fox Sports,
We will see you tomorrow night.
So let it be written, so let it be done. See you next time on The Sport Report.
Do you want to contact Chandler with sports, have thoughts on sports, or questions about advertising on the Sport Report? Find us on Twitter or Instagram at SportReportCWS for either social media site.
This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler with Sports is strictly prohibited.